Okay, abusia yaba makwa abashonko so edeba Ghana Politics Avenue so abusia yembonra yensemo breaking news bi abaye no na ya project ede up to your screen no enchen ede amamo no a statue dedicated to the late Jerry John Rawlings has been unveiled in his hometown Keita abusia Asiedu Nketia ene NDC mpanyimfo akwa unveil former late President Jerry John Rawlings ni statue ede akwakosi ne kroma sisi anom ohwe the lives of Zanetor Rawlings ene former President Jerry John Rawlings ne mana abusuya serie bi aba behye omo animuma anase serie bi ahye omo afunuma areho bet omo hwe de wa statue no esi wona omo akai omo papa emre bi enuti Asiedu Nketia dear Jerry John Rawlings ebabaye ma Ghana no editwam abusia momi yankon share ensema ekoso ewo political highway so unsubscribe ya subscribe like na share ma for so ensa into me enkabia ha Ghana Politics Avenue so and don't forget to click on the notification bell so na ya any update be ebe drop no onsa ebe to me aka medamase
good for true transparency and accountability. Despite emerging onto the whole.
A bold and principled leader who stood for the voiceless and oppressed. He built enduring pillars of democracy, justice, and accountability. Constructed
in whatever we do, the president has always made it clear that with the support of the people of this country and with the support of the Almighty God, he should be in position to ensure that he puts in place systems and structures that even the most reckless president should struggle, trying to undo it. That's most significant. Now, if you look at our political, the systems that we've run over the period and the things that have happened, you notice that we start well and then it becomes a bigger problem. And so you notice that, regrettably, by 2019, the Akuffo administration has already put in place the committee that had Franklin Kujo and co in to help with the stabilization of the Ghana city. I think one of the biggest problems that I realized over the period, and particularly in the past, was the fanfare. The fanfare didn't really help.
Was associated with
the previous administration was the fanfare, the sloganeering. It didn't help. And so then the impression was created that there was more to do with talk than action. If you recall, less than 90 or so days when the Akuffo administration came in, Dr. Bawumia famously said, "Look at the economic management team. What a fantastic team." Now, what was the end result? The scorecard.
By the time they were,
what was the scorecard of this fantastic economic management team? It was disaster. Regrettably, a Ebola economy. All the international rating agencies had basically, written us off. Our bonds became junk. We had no credibility whatsoever. And I remember famously one Ghanaian, a Ghanaian but American comedian, was Michael
Blankson.
Michael Blankson.
Is it Michael Blankson?
Yeah, Michael Blankson.
He said he had invested in some bonds.
And in fact, he used the word government of Ghana stole his money. When we're reading economics at the university, we're told that the most secured form of investment is investing in government instruments. That classical view of investment tools, the Akuffo Bawumia administration made nonsense of that classical view. So that by the time where they were left of office, what did we see? For the first time, pensioners went on demonstration. I have never seen that in my 40 years existence on earth. Maybe Zato has seen that. Now, when you have such abysmal performance, there will be hope in a new president. And that is why I have said that the coming into power of President Mahama was therapeutic.
Therapeutic?
It was medicinal. People felt a sense of relief. NPP, NDC, I mean, you could see on the street of Ghana, the accounts will say there was Momomi. People were like celebrating the triumphant return of President John Dramani Mahama, Ababio. That is the kind of hope that has heralded his second coming, Momomi. And I want to use this platform to say that when we say that the 1 year of President Mahama has been one of result, it is not just whimsical. Today, as we speak, inflation had moved from the 23% that we took over. And let the record reflect that from 2022, inflation went as far as 54%. And at that time, there were only 2 countries in West Africa, in fact, Africa south of the Sahara, that had worse inflation than us, Zimbabwe and South Sudan. That was how terrible our situation was. Zimbabwe and South Sudan.
Why are you emphasizing those 2 countries?
No, I mean, you understand. And interestingly, Bawumia has an interesting record with Zimbabwe. I mean, that's a different matter. But the point I am making is that you had a situation where we took inflation from 23, and today we are doing a little above 6%. And the finance minister, the governor of Bank of Ghana say, look, they are keeping their eyes off the inflationary pressures, and to do that. Today, as we speak, to the glory of the Almighty God, what is the level of fuel prices at our pumps? What is it? The other time I listened to the governor of Bank of Ghana, he said his ultimate aim is to get to the point where interest rates will come into the single digits. Such profound vision for the Ghanaian economy. Look, you notice that Ghanaian businessmen, particularly at Abosokan, always have issue with their Nigerian counterparts. Do you know why?
Why?
Because the Nigerian picks a loan from Nigeria at interest rates almost single digits. Now he's supposed to compete with a Ghanaian businessman that is taking loan at almost double-digit numbers. And so you notice that even for pricing, the Ghanaian businessman at Abosokan is never competitive. And so that is what always leads to the acrimony when you go to Abosokan or Kanshi.
Their stock
tend to be relatively expensive because of the source of capital. Now you have a situation where today the managers of the Ghanaian economy are determined to get these numbers lower. What was the outlook when our friends were given the benefit of political power, vindictiveness, destroying people's businesses, the recklessness with which the economy was managed? Roland, is it not curious that by end of 2020, our budget deficit went as far as 15%, the highest in the whole of West Africa? Why was it so? A president determined to win an election, even in the midst of COVID, spent recklessly. Do you know that if today the NPP and co were in power, the abduction of Nicolas Maduro would have been reason for fuel prices to go up?
Sometimes this one is an exaggeration. Are you talking because of the Russian-Ukraine war that was used?
I mean, you know the narrative. You have a situation where a whole government communication setup is put, and it is Russia-Ukraine. The people who were having bombs dropped on them in Russia and Ukraine had their inflation single digits. Look at the distance from here to Ukraine. We were rather having double-digit inflation, and Russia and Ukraine were responsible for that. And so, let nobody deceive us. President Mahama, in 1 year, with thoughtful, innovative leadership, without Eurobond, had kept this economy sound. Look, Solo, do you know that as we speak today, we have not taken $1 Eurobond as we speak today, but the economy is sound?
You mean not yet?
I am saying we are looking at 1 year review. What will happen in future? Let the future decide that. But today, as we speak, we've not taken $1 Eurobond. Akuffo has today paid the debt he is inherited, about $709 million record. But do you know the beautiful thing about the payment Akuffo did? He made that payment at an exchange rate of 10.5. If that $709 million was paid when MPP were in power, we were going to pay 13 billion Ghana cedis. But because today the exchange rate has reduced, come down, stabilized at 10.5, when Akuffo paid that debt of $709 million, do you know how much he paid in Ghana cedis? A little over 8 billion. Look at the savings. That is what you get when you put competent people who are not talking to handle the economy, Dr. Zato.
Oh, why are you addressing Dr. Zato? You're addressing me, please.
No, sorry. Let me turn properly towards you.
No, I don't want my guests to be harassed.
Oh, no. I think badging is permitted.
No, both of them are here to make my life uncomfortable.
You have 2 minutes, please.
So let me.
Rapper, you have 2 minutes.
Another key thing that President Mahama has decided to do, maintaining free SHS. And not only maintaining it, making it look better. One of the major campaign promise, and our friends in the MPP are very good at weaponizing fear for pure politics.
What do you mean by that?
They told the people of this country that a vote for President Mahama means cancellation of free SHS. Today, to the glory of the Almighty God, President Mahama has not cancelled free SHS. What he has done, innovative, first, to take the capping and realignment legislation off Get Fund, to amend the Get Fund Act, and now provide for dedicated funding for free SHS. The people who claim they are the proponents of free SHS were funding it on ad hoc basis. President Mahama says no. Today, that is what has happened. Do you know that from the commitment by President Mahama alone, the World Bank has decided to give us $200 million to end double track? You should be applauding President Mahama. You should be clapping for him. And I invite you to do that. You understand? That is what President Mahama had decided to do just on free SHS. National Health Insurance, and I say this, by the year 2022, National Health Insurance, because of the capping and realignment legislation, over almost 2 billion Ghana cedis was realized from the NHIS levy. The year 2022, there was zero release. This year alone, through innovative leadership, President Mahama is making available to National Health Insurance a little over 9 billion Ghana cedis. My brother Victor Bampo had brought enormous reform to the National Health Insurance under the able leadership of the Health Minister Akando. Look at what my senior brother Haruna Idrisu is doing at the education front. Look at the manner in which the Honorable Finance Minister, the Honorable Akuffo, had kept our finances and discipline.
NDC, your time is up.
I want to conclude on this. The innovation with which the Gold Board has intervened, to the point that today, as we speak, forest repatriation to the Ghanaian economy for 2025 was in the region of $10 billion. $10 billion forest repatriation. And that is why the unprecedented $13 billion reserve our friends in the MPP do not understand. I am not surprised. When I heard my learned friend Akroma say that Bawumia should be credited as well for the good for reserve policy, how ridiculous can that proposition be?
Well, it canvassed an argument that, I mean, he is the one who tacked it that way and then also recommenced it, so to speak.
The Bank of Ghana, right from its inception, has always targeted the good for reserve. Our friends will tell you that even when you are called Roland, they can come and decide that they will give you a different name. And now say that they did your naming ceremony for you. That's the kind of governance that we had over the period. And that is why at the end of the day, the result. Okay. I want to conclude finally. Hey, big push.
This is your third final conclusion.
Big push. The big push had pushed even Zanetor to Sisala is over the
You are saying is the reason why he went
yes.
Place.
He went to inspect. No, he went to inspect the road under the big push. President Mahama had given him work. President Mahama had given him work. He wanted to go and see it. Philly. Seeing is believing. And he saw it. He came, he saw, he conquered. And the big push is going to be extremely transformational. I am very confident that with the support of the people of this country, 2026 will be better for the people.
Dr. Zanetor, your own assessment so far, where the credit has to go, but where you think that, you know, the administration could have done better?
See, I just love the fact that my friend here says that he likes the work that is being done on free HSS. And that, yes, and that I should clap for His Excellency President Mahama. But he will not lift a finger to clap for the man who brought the free HSS. His Excellency Nana Addo Akuffo.
It was in the Constitution.
You see how it's going? He would not lift a finger to say this free HSS was brought by His Excellency Nana Addo Akuffo. So let me start by clapping for him for bringing it. And then, because public policy is never meant for perfection. Nobody says let's make a perfect public policy. No, you make a policy and you keep reforming and making it better. If you would not clap for the man who brought this policy, a policy that the African Union celebrated, a policy that attracted CNN, BBC, the whole world to come and celebrate.
Which one?
Free HSS. A policy
CNN?
Yeah, it was covered wireless, the BBC, all of them. A policy that by the first year put almost 1 million Ghanaian kids in the classroom. If you will not clap for that man, you want me to clap for somebody who just came yesterday and did what? Secondly, you just landed on gold board. Really, yes. And again, here you are. We should celebrate Sambi Jemfi for his 9 months solution at gold board. And ignore the $2.4 million loss. We should completely ignore it. We should come $2.4 million loss. The Bank of Ghana gold board.
No, 200.
Good. We should it is bigger than that. Good. We should forget that loss. In 9 months, we should forget that loss he did. And more important, we should forget the man who brought that policy. You are refusing to give him credit. But I should clap for President Mahama, right?
Which one brought that policy?
Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, the gold for reserve. Listen, no. You see, I didn't do this second.
Okay,
so we shouldn't. So you can understand. You are reluctant. You are reluctant to share credit, or willing to share credit. But I should clap for President Mahama because he just came. So there were policies that were existent, and yes, institutional reform. That's why I said public policy is never meant to be perfect. They will change it. There will be reforms to make it better. And now, with all the monopoly in the gold sector by Gold Board and all this monopoly, Gold Board Bank of Ghana, you are still running to 240 million loss, which is applaud that. I will leave that to the viewing public to see. So this is the point, and we don't do this a lot in this country. We don't give policy credit. And usually when people come, you don't want to say that, yes, this policy was started by this person, either in one form or shape. Yeah. We have reformed it, we have added to it.
But fear is continue, though.
Yes, exactly. So that's what I'm saying. He said to clap for President Mahama, but he didn't clap for Akuffo. He's celebrating Gold Board, but he's not celebrating Dr. Bawumia. I can understand. It's either your own easiness with His Excellency Bawumia. I can understand that the fact that your whole economic miracle is anchored on his excellent solemn idea of the gold idea. I can understand that. But let me start. Look, on the economy, I'll give the president and the community high marks.
What was the mark?
You're a lecturer. You don't. When you are grading, you don't tell people.
I will give them high marks. I will give them.
This is not UCC grading. University of Ghana. Give him a good A.
I'm saying I'll give them high marks. I'll give them a 60. High 60.
Oh, how?
I'll give them high 60. And I'll tell you why.
Okay. Well, UCC is University of Ghana.
Why are you disturbing UCC here today?
90%. So
I'll give them 60. Yes, the economic indicators that you've mentioned, they are good. I will not run away from that. They are good. They've come down. Fuel prices have come down. Inflation and all that. Those indicators are good. But there's something that we have to understand, and we look a little bit at history. Every finance minister in Ghana since 2000 has had an excellent year, first year.
I don't understand.
Every finance minister since 2000, since Osafo Mafo,
transition.
Yes, since Osafo Mafo has had an almost excellent first year.
Okay, so that's Osafo Mafo.
Kojoba Redu.
Okay, I was winning and some so our political highway. So a former president and as an ex-president and the late Jerry John Rawlings. I was Nketia Unveiled. And yeah, the handsome. But I must some Japanese cocotisa in some way at the MI. Ghana Politics Avenue. So, but I must say.